Today we say, what makes a good project great? And we're going to try and make a lot of the good projects great ones. And that's the thing that we got to do, and we will. So, having said that, I'm going to pull in chat here. I'm a little bit discombobulated today. This whole week's been a bit of kind of a crapshoot for me. But we keep going. Whew. Gonna be another yap stream? No, we're gonna be doing something on this stream. I'm actually gonna do, making a good project great again. Yes, there we go. Also, I have changed all my audio setup. So this probably could sound like absolute trash, or it could sound actually okay. I got like a couple weird copyright claims from, I'm using copyright free music in the background. Ever so slightly, you can barely make it out. So I don't know what the heck's going on with either YouTube or Twitch. And I was like, fine, if they want to play that game, I'm just going to redo all my audio trans thing. And then any background music you hear is just going to be so compressed from a waveform standpoint. It's going to look like someone that's never touched audio before feeds the music through and just amps it up. So I raise all the peaks and then I just smash them down. So no computer could figure out what the hell's playing in the background. So good luck, YouTube and Twitch. F y'all for your stupid copyright system. And good luck trying to get around my workaround. So we're done with that. So you shouldn't see any more this part of the stream's copyright claimed. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. Or this is muted because it contains copy. No, none of this does. It's all copyright free, but just to make sure, I've completely adjusted all the music in real time. And then if they somehow are able to detect, or some POS out there is basically false claiming like they're doing now, then I'll just figure out a way to just randomly generate some type of ambient music in the background that can't be, that just randomly adjusts and can't be grabbed. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Streambeats always gets full copyrights too, so it's kind of a weird deal. Also, I wanted to try, I've been trying to change around some of my settings here. I kind of wanted to pull in this real fast. I know this is a little bit outside the wheelhouse. Hang with me for just a second. We're gonna make some awesome changes. I've been trying to level up the stream a little bit, and we're gonna do that. Yeah. Okay. Got some ideas. Some ideas where to put chat on here. But for now, let's stay on the desktop. I'll work on that another day. But the plan for today's stream is to go through Linux utility. Also, kind of a big thing changing out. Oh my gosh, someone's stealing your work on Amazon. Latest release of operating system. Oh man, that sucks. It's always bad when someone steals stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't use music, but I kind of like having some type of ambient sound in the background. So that's kind of why I like using it. It doesn't need to be like anything fancy. Just something to fill in the gaps, because when I stop speaking, I know that's rare, it actually happens on stream, but believe it or not, I do stop speaking every once in a while, and I want to make sure it just sounds good for those small things. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, sorry to hear about that, Tech Zero. It sucks when you get someone stealing your work. Happens to me all the time, though. Yeah, I do audio ducking like a mofo. So anytime I talk, it just completely basically gets rid of the music or gameplay, honestly, if I was recording gameplay. Did you check some guys spamming info stealer and LinUtil's issues? Oh, gosh. Oh, let's see. All right, let's first deal with that. King Root, that takes priority. Thank you for letting me know. Let's come on over. Gosh. Let's see what we got. Who are we banning today? Do we have... and then haven't closed. Yeah, maybe adjust the auto close. Maybe like 30 days or something crazy. Is it a Mediafire link? All right, let's see if we can go Mediafire. Mediafire. Okay. Do we have a person in here? Jargon on the min-win page. What is Scratch directory? What is happening here? Yeah, I guess stealing. It's MIT license. It's not really stealing. It's whatever. If you want to take what I got, it's fine. I'm talking more about YouTube videos, not code. Code's not really stealing because, well, it's all open source and it's MIT license, so it doesn't really matter to me. So I'm trying to look for this info stealer guy real fast. Apparently the account was banned. I think it's all good now. Oh, okay. Oh, someone sent a supposed fix. I'm sure I didn't merge that. I went through all the PRs last night, though, and I didn't see anything. Guy named Ghost. Real original. Oh, yes, I'm good friends with the FBI and CIA. All those three-letter words. I remember some crackhead sending me a weird email going, oh, you did work for the government. You're part of the problem. I'm like, bro, we're all just trying to get a paycheck at the end of the day so we can pay our mortgage and get on with our lives. Not all of us can be complete losers living in their mom's basement forever. It's just facts. You got to grow up eventually. Or maybe not. Maybe you just hang out in your mom's basement until she's like 80 and dies. And then you just take over the house and then lose it about 5-10 years later because you're a loser. Hey, you know, shots fired. But yeah, usually that's the typical privacy nut. Oh, God, don't get me started with those guys. Flag feature. Yeah, we could probably do something like that. I just joined, so confused. Yeah, we haven't done anything yet. All right, we were looking into an investigation report over here about someone doing like a submit for some kind of privacy feature. Let's see if we can find it. It was like Ghost was the user, but we can't find him now because he's been banned from GitHub. And I don't think I merged anything of that. I'm just going to look back through all our PRs, issues, because he probably opened something up, but I'm pretty specific. Somebody was trying to update a markdown file. I didn't see a point in that. Someone was trying to add stuff. I actually been closing out more than I've been merging a lot these days. I finally did the admin elevation. We did get that done from Drift Users, the one that won it. I made a real simplistic version of it. I was like, yeah, we can re-implement it. So I improved upon the old version that we were doing, where it would launch Windows Terminal and then run into PWSH, which is PowerShell Core, instead of standard Windows PowerShell. But if it didn't have either of those, it could just launch Windows PowerShell. That was a real basic script. And then another user, PSY, he's actually done a lot of good commits. It's just they weren't not exactly the way I wanted them. So, yeah. Oh, it was just an account that got deleted. Ghost means the account was deleted and GitHub. Okay, good to know. But I feel bad for this guy, PSY, because I was like, he's had a lot of really cool commits, but I can't accept any of them because a lot of them were just a little bit off or not quite to the standard, or it didn't fit right into the vision for the project itself. The commits themselves were probably pretty good. I just didn't have it. So that's how it goes sometimes with a lot of these projects, especially real popular ones. You have to be real specific, because if you just accept everything that's a decent commit or a decent PR, you're going to end up with a project that just looks foreign to you. And that's why I really have to be kind of hyper focused with a lot of these. So I've been closing out a lot of PRs that I was just like, that doesn't quite fit. No, that could cause problems. Or, oh, that's a good idea, but not for this specific project. So I ran into that a lot last night. So what I've been doing too, when it comes to my projects, what makes good projects great, the theme of today's video, is that. And what makes good projects great is being specific, have a vision, have an idea, and then stick to that and never deviate from it. And even if you get good code, it sometimes means you have to reject it, even when it is good code, because it just doesn't fit or align with the project. So that's kind of how that works a lot of times. And I just want to let people know, sometimes when I close a PR, don't take it the wrong way. Heck, I closed my own PR because I thought Drift User did a better job at admin of elevation than me. But I went through all this last night and kind of cleaned up a lot of the PRs. So you'll notice in LinUtil here, we have a lot of PRs. Like usually if I see something like a spelling fix, like this one from Calum, I'll usually just go through, take a peek at it and go, okay, what do we got? Applications, super simple. Yeah, let's just merge it. Little spelling questions and stuff, but I like to kind of batch these together. I don't want to be checking this every bit too. So kind of going forward as well, before I start streams or whatnot, a lot of these smaller fixes and stuff, I'm not going to bother on stream because you don't really learn anything from it other than, hey, that's a really basic PR. I appreciate it. It's good, but there's not much to be had other than don't spell things wrong, which I'm guilty of all the time. I'm terrible with spelling. So what I like to do is combine all this and do something like that, and then leave like the really big PRs for the stream that would like look really cool. So like improving the preprocessor or doing a refactor, like adding chocolatey in instead of Winget. Like this is something I want to really showcase on stream. And the same goes for the Linux utility. I kind of went through, kind of cleaned it up last night as well. And I'm going to try and kind of save like the meat and potatoes, like the really good stuff, and then try and get more coding done. Because at the end of the day, what I found as a lot of these projects have become more popular, I've gotten tons of amazing commits, and I really appreciate everyone that contributes. But what it's done is I went from like 90-something% commits. Now I'm like down to 65. I mean, my code review is just getting kind of insane. Like, look at that. That's just ridiculous. I'm like almost 33% code review now when I was like 90-something% commits from a year ago. So as the projects get more, I'm actually doing way more code review, which is cool because there's many more talented programmers than me out there. And one, it's just kind of steering them. Two, it's accepting the stuff and then actually getting into the stuff. Oh my God, you guys spamming PRs. What do we got? 2635. All right, one more PR, and then we're moving on. We're moving on with our lives because I do want to get actually some coding done and not just be looking at other people's code the entire time. All right, what do we got? 2635. What was 2635? Oh, is it on LinUtil? Oh, Script Kiddie Navigator. Just put that across my head. I like it. Is it LinUtil? Okay. I didn't see anything on the PRs for 2635. Oh, issues. It's an issue. Okay. All right, 2635, stats, numbers, showing UI. Yes, I looked at this actually, about telemetry, about what gets installed and what doesn't get installed. I liked this. It was a cool idea. Here's a good idea where it comes like cool ideas meet practicality. Having a counter for app installs for Windows utilities sounds great. Sounds like a no-brainer. It would be nice to know, hey, what is used in LinUtil? What gets installed in LinUtil? I would love to know that. That'd be awesome. But what ends up happening is, how the hell do you track that? You're going to have some kind of global database somewhere where we collect this information, and that's telemetry. And then you can only collect a certain thing. You don't want to collect anything specific. And then there's laws, especially depending on where you are in the world. Those laws can be stricter, not stricter. So it gets a lot more convoluted. And then you got the latency that might get added by tracking and sending that in. Oh man, it's just so much. It's just so much. All right. And then the hidden comment here was the MediaFire junk malware analysis. I don't know what this was from. So I think this actually got, yeah, I don't know. The original quote and everything kind of got messed up. So, anyways, I don't know what you want me to do with that. Y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to chill out. Like, what? Why you want me to look at that issue if it wasn't about what the issue was about? The Google Chrome info stealer. The run link shows more detailed information about the malware. What do you want me to do with that? Yeah. What you got, Drift? I did a bunch of stuff on that. Fixed position of run and undo tweaks. Repositioning. Oh, yeah, I like that. It's pretty clean. Let's look at the code. Let's see. We got a tweaks button and undo button with the link. Just pulling that out of the tweaks JSON. Putting in the input. I agree with that. Wow, that's a small commit for such a big change. I dig it. Let's go. Try running it first. I'm sure it's fine. Squash and merge. Run it live. Ah, you guys. With your check it out. Review it first. We just raw dog it here, man. Push to prod. We're getting close to Friday. You did no pre-release. I know. I got to fix the pre-release. That's what we need to do right now. But first, let's make sure it's fine. I'm sure it is. I looked at the code. Man, I got laser eyes, man. I'm just boom. I could tell it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. But to ease your mind, I'll go ahead and pull it down, and we'll compile it. Just to make sure. But guess what? It's going to work great. But having said that, we should check. All right, so we've compiled. We're pushing it out. This is the new layout. The tweaks thing. Oh, look at that beautiful new position by Drift User. Ah, see? God, that is so much better. Okay, let's make the... Oh, how you guys like that? You could run this on a calculator now and still run tweaks. Drift User's making everybody's life easier with those new buttons. See? I knew right away. That was an amazing PR. Today, gonna be a great day. Did you ever commit a programming war crime? It's hard to do when it comes to GitHub. It's impossible. GitHub, I think what Tuesday was, or no, it was Monday. Monday was awful. We never did update. Did we update looking like, probably, no, I need to update it. We need to do that too. So we're going to get a lot done. But yeah, Monday was bad. I literally nuked the entire project. It was awful. I just screwed up the entire rebase of it. It was just, everything I did that day was just a disaster. And then it's everything in the project's completely unscathed. All I had to do is just, let's just run into that hash. Bam, git push force. We were right back to square one. And that's amazing. Like, if you're not using Git and you're a programmer, what are you doing with your life? I don't understand. It's so easy. People don't understand how crazy powerful Git is. Speaking of which, what do we have here? Oh. So last night around 1 a.m. I was coding, and I was doing some stuff with Git actions. And this is hold on, chat. We can't just check all the stuff. We gotta look at this next, because I screwed something up last night. Again, coding late. I was like, oh man, I really like this new thing, and it's super cool. Check this out. I did it on LinUtil. It worked great. And then I did it on WinUtil, and it didn't work so great. It's there, but it's very, very close. Very close. Check out this new system. I've got this cool project I found. So, of course, I yeeted it to production like a good program would do. And it is so cool. So we did a pre-release last night. You'll notice this draft. Pay no attention to that. But the pre-release, it redoes the changes and contributors, and I changed the action of Linux utility to do it. Now, the Win utility, it bombed out because it tried to grab every single change ever done, every commit, and let's just say it didn't end well. But Linux utility is so much younger that it was fine, and now that it's in place, everything's gravy. But what I ended up doing, if you look, check this out. Check it out. So cool. This guy right here for generating release notes, release drafter is what it's called. So cool. I love it. It's so great. This is amazing. So if you haven't been using this or never even heard of Release Drafter, you are in for a treat, because it drafts all your release notes and it's so cool. Oh my gosh, it makes it look pretty. And I can sit there and do multiple releases, and then it kind of keeps it all great. I don't know if I was drunk per se. Maybe I shouldn't have been coding at that hour, but it's so much fun. So much fun. So, and it kind of drafts it all. And it does make like a junk release, I want to say, before it makes something good. But I wanted to try that out. Anyways, I'm trying to implement this in LinUtil. Let's get that going right now, because it's kind of a neat idea, I think. And LinUtil, when I ran it, we'll just run it again real fast. Let's see where we're at, because I don't know. Oh, if you create an awful PR, and trust me, people have already done that. You would not be the first. Yeah, the power of the app. You guys are never going to shut me up. You want peace and quiet, you got to go somewhere else. Why does your right-click menu look so good? What does my right-click menu look like? Oh, it's just old school. It's just classic. Yeah. That's just part of the main tweaks of LinUtil. But let's run this function, right? I can't remember what I was doing. Let's go pre-release LinUtil. We ran this 13 hours ago. So roughly 1 a.m. So let's run it again. I can't remember what happened. Let's see what happens. I also created 2 awful PRs. Really, Raz? Really? Why this is running, I got to check those PRs. Because I love me some PRs on DWM. Oh, actually, let's go here. DWM Titus. I do need to fix this up. I also wanted to show some cool stuff with Linux utility. So one thing that most people don't know. So this is really neat. Let's just do a cargo run. So we'll build it real fast. You see how it says Arch Linux? Watch this. We're going to go distro box. I can't remember. Do I have any? Oh, we do already. Cool. Let's go distro box, enter Fedora. You're about to get blown away. You're about to say, Titus, that's genius. And I'm going to agree with you. It is. Is it okay to go full G10? Sure, man. You do you. But you will get banned. So there will be consequences to your action. But I totally believe in the power of freedom. Your freedom to be as stupid as you want to be. But if you're really stupid, you're going to get banned. I mean, that's just the way the world works. So don't come yelling at me when all of a sudden you can't access anything, you know. So that's my theory on everything. I'm like, hey, you are free to do what you want to do, but don't come crying to me when you do something stupid that I don't like. And I'm like, all right, well, you had this coming. Now for the cool thing, before you all sidetrack me with all the nonsense here. All right, we're gonna go build LinUtil. You see what happened? Arch Linux isn't there anymore. There's actually a cool thing that was added, not by me actually. It was done by, I think it was LJ that added this feature. But when you're outside of your specific distribution, I was emulating Fedora. And if we go build again, and we'll just do LinUtil, Arch Linux is there. It reads what package manager you're using and then displays the options that are relevant to you in Linux utility. So if you're an Arch user, it'll show Arch options if there's specific Arch options to show. If you're a Fedora user, and let's say you want RPM Fusion, which was one of the latest PRs that I did last night, it would show RPM Fusion. I just haven't built it here yet. And if you're a Debian user, eventually it would show Debian only options. And Nixos, it would show Nix options. That's pretty sweet. So this gives us a lot of ability, and how it is done is kind of wild. So what this looks like, you don't even need to be a programmer to do this. Again, props to the contributors here. This was not me. This was not my idea. I just didn't realize this idea is as cool as it is. So here's the tab setup, but really what I want to show you is the system setup. This is where the magic happens. Look at this. So there's data preconditions in the TOML file. This is not a bug. This is a feature. The preconditions say if it matches true and command exists pacman, show Arch Linux. Nice, right? That's pretty legit. So we just saw what it did when we entered Fedora, but let's do a git pull because guess what? We have other stuff here. Oh yes. Let's just build us a release real fast. And I can't remember. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So let's go distro box, enter, Fedora again. Now let's LinUtil this. And it didn't show it. Shit. Did it put it in target, I bet you? Yeah, put it over here probably. Never mind. Let's try that one more time. Now it shows the latest version of Fedora in here. How about that? So now in this Fedora distro box, I'm like, hey, let's set up some RPM Fusion. Yes, please. I want my distro box to have RPM Fusion. Bam, done. Exit out of here. Now, how cool is that? So now we have a lot of foundational things that really I've never seen anybody do in my life. So that means we have some great ability to make this good project great. And that's going to be sweet because now we can do anything and everything for any distribution into one project. It will only show you the options that are relevant to you in a decent UI, and we can completely go crazy, which is awesome. Yeah, we can add Bazite. We can do all kinds of crazy things here. This is awesome. It's really starting to take shape. And this is, like, again, I got to emphasize, this is not just me. This is the contributors. A lot of these awesome ideas and what makes open source so darn powerful, why it's better than any big software you can go buy, is you can get all these contributors if there's enough eyes on it and they'll all contribute. You're going to reject a lot of those PRs. There's going to be people in chat or whatnot that might troll me with a terrible PR. It's already been threatened today. I'm sure many more will come by the time this stream ends. But in the sea of garbage, there will be some amazing, amazing finds to be done. And it's really easy to I'm able to ferret out usually good contributors from bad contributors. I may not be a very good programmer myself, but I am very capable of usually seeing good code or recognizing it, and also good contributors and recognizing them. If there's one good thing about that is we can make the best project possible, mostly because of the contributors, which is awesome. So I love that. I absolutely love it. And I thought that was just such a neat thing I wanted to share real fast with like LinUtil, and also just show you that was not my idea. That just came to life from the open source realm and the contributors that added it. So yeah, neat. Yes, open source is great and all the ideas are great, but there still needs to be a vision and a program directions so it's not a spaghetti mess. This snow is the defining factor and problem with most of open source projects. Most times you have to have some kind of figurehead there that says, that's stupid, nope, you're cool, that's good code, yoink. Stupid, terrible, that's another good code, yoink. And it's really about doing that over and over and over again and having just something fantastic to show for it at the end. I tell you, having that's great. So I love that, the idea of this. But I wanted to show that because I was like, that is next level. And it wasn't until I was on my K-Focus laptop, I was messing around at work, and I didn't even recognize that feature already got baked in. And I was just pulling it up. I was like, oh, holy crap. Okay. Oh, I see the preconditions in the TOML, and then easily added those preconditions. And then it just fell into place. I was like, wow, that's crazy powerful. So we have some amazing foundations to do here. And if you want to steal this project and go for it and do something that you saw, man, you go right ahead. It's all MIT based. So Raz, we had something here. Replace key code constraints with X7 media controls. Oh, I remember this one. I didn't like it. I do like the inclusion of the x86 header file in DWMC though. And that might actually that might not be so bad. That might not be, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I just don't like some of the changes. So let's look at this real fast. Let's actually do some cursor. All right, now that you've been harping on me for 40 minutes about yapping, let's actually do something. I agree. Let's roll the dice. Let's figure this out. Let's go DWM Titus. Let's pull our changes here. And I want to kind of see... All right, let's see our key code restraints. I want to look at the changes directly. And I do want to change a few things here. I really like the idea that we got going on here. Specifically config H. So right now with the modifiers, changing these, I do want to leave these functions alone and just add to them with your functions. I think that would be cool. The rest of this doesn't look like any other changes actually. Was there anything really of note here? Nah, not really. Yeah, probably need to change flame shot to be more universal for folks too. I'll think on that. Anyways, yeah, that's cool. I wonder. Oh, you changed it to spaces, not tabs, I'd say. Oh, the functions had the same, which I hard coded. Okay. So when you added the header file, these options probably will work comparative to these options because these were kind of specific to my laptop and I had to trace them down using like an XProp or something. It wasn't an XProp. It was, oh geez, what's that X11 tool? XDO tool, I think it was, to capture keystrokes. And, oh, they're exactly the same. Oh, shoot. All right, then. Couple other things. You are missing some of my stuff, though. See? That whole thing's getting deleted. I need that to change my background pictures, man. There's nothing better. I mean, this is a vital system importance. Let's say I want to switch my background. I got to be able to do it with a hotkey. Kind of feeling like a mountain today. I like that. I can't use the system without that hotkey. What am I, a Windows user? Where I like right click and then like change it normal? That's gross. What's your opinion on reaction videos? Reaction ISOD. Oh my God. Din. Drugs are bad, man. Don't do drugs. That's my opinion. Drugs are bad. Reaction videos though. It's lazy. It's lazy content. But I mean, if you're like a content creator and this is your gig, you know, you get paid for it. I get it. I'm not a huge fan. The thing about like most content creators or influencers, whatever the hell you want to call them, I guess you could lump me in there. It's a very lonely experience. You don't really have much of a team. I mean, yeah, some of the bigger names do, but it's a whole different ball game, and it's more of a media company than an actually technology kind of thing. There's a couple really cool people in the technology sector, most in the home lab space of YouTube, which I think is really cool. You don't see any reaction videos out of them, and most of them are trying to create their own thing or trying out and doing their own reviews. I think that's cool. And that's awesome and very admirable. But the current state of YouTube and YouTubers or influencers, whatever, is the reaction content, the drama videos, all that's just junk food for the brain. And it's awful. I hate it. And that's why I don't really do that. I hope we don't stray too far from the line on LinUtil's README. Linux is a distro agnostic toolbox. No. Muzzle, did you miss the beginning where we showed you how it would pick your distro and then only show options relevant to you? That was pretty cool. I think is also Chris Titus Tech. Why so many people have asked for you to add a README or something to direct people on a vision is so they now know what to do or add for coach or for future development. I agree. Still less agnostic. Yeah, I mean, what are you talking about? Adjust your system as agnostic as you can be. You know? That's what I'm saying. All right, I do agree with this PR. Let's go. Just a few things here. You are missing and need to update. This might be easier if I just do it. Looking at it, I think I might just do that. I think it'll be easier. just thinking out loud here. Let's see what we got. So this one is the media volume. All right. Just gonna yoink that. Okay. What was that? Yeah, no, I think it was. Oh, there we go. Man. There we go. Let's just fix this. Not quite what I wanted. There's an easier way to do this, but you know, maybe do like a precompile setup for this. What if this is something kind of wondered about? Oh, let's see here. What if we take DWM and put it into our regular projects? I think that might actually be best. Instead of having all these individual projects kind of like their own, have it all filtered into just, if it's a Windows-based project, go ahead and put it in Windows utility. If it's a Linux-based project, put it in LinUtil. I understand the modularity of all this, but seeing how powerful that GitHub is, I don't see a point in having a whole bunch of independent repos, other than sometimes that might be a little easier to maintain. But at the end of the day, I kind of want to integrate everything into, if it's Windows, WinUtil, if it's Linux, LinUtil, and then all these other independent ones. I feel like that might be great. Yeah, I agree. So we can still make it one repo, but just make it very modular. I really like that. And we already have the system set up for it, because bouncing between all these repos is, I'm not liking the flow. I'm not liking the whole workflow here. So that's one thing I'm just kind of on the fence about. Yeah, I really don't like Git submodules either, OG. But yes, it is a valid way to do it as well. And that's kind of something I was thinking about. Anyways, fix the formatting for me. Is there a way to link GitHub repos? You can link them, and you can even link and do submodules, which is linking another repo to a current repo. It just can get a little messy is all. Yeah, and when it comes to Linux desktop environments, I really just, KDE is my favorite probably out of all of them, but I still don't like it. It's still not like something I'm like, ooh, I love this. And, you know, let's see. We're just going to LLM format create. This is what LLMs were created for. Mundane tasks that just kind of suck to redo the formatting. Yeah. Just fix it for me. Magic. I haven't tried out Cosmic yet. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. I've heard a little bit of a mix there. So most people I talk to says it's not ready for prime time yet, and there's a lot of bugs. And I'm not a huge fan of Pop! OS as well. So I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I have a feeling I would just roast it to no end if I tried it right now. So I want to give it the best chance possible to have a good first impression. And that's just my thoughts. But at the end of the day, I said something yesterday that some people might pick up on, maybe it offended some people too. And it was this. I'll repeat it now. Right now, Linux desktop is more unstable than Mac and Windows. And that made a lot of people mad when I said it, but it's the truth. Because it's just a very weird experience comparatively to Windows and Mac. Windows and Mac has a huge quality control team. They're not very good at their job, but it's huge. And Linux doesn't have that. They have a very small development team, much less The quality control team's just the users. So I really want to help fix that issue. And my fix for having a stable Linux desktop environment is have as little footprint as possible from GUI applications in Linux, because that's really where Linux kind of goes wrong with the stability and reliability point, is when you start adding a whole bunch of stuff. When you look at Linux Rices, for instance, let's just pull up a few. Usually these make people go, "Ooh, this is so cool. This is such an amazing rice." And then they look at how it's done through like the dot files and those types of things, and they add just a ton of crap to the system that inevitably is very hard to replicate. And if you are able to replicate it, typically will get broken in an update, which is not great. So I look at it and I'm like, I want to try a more minimal approach. And the more minimal, stable I can make a Linux desktop, the better. And that's where I live and breathe with all my projects. Is it's not about the pretty colors on the screen, it's about the stability. Because when you start getting lost in all this crap, all this, it's pretty. It's super pretty. But guess what? Your system will suck because you got all this extra crap on here. It's going to be very unstable comparatively to a Windows or Mac setup. And you might get it going for a little bit, but just wait for the updates to roll in and you're going to be in a bad spot. So that's kind of what my take is and what I want to fix. Because for me, I love Linux. I just want to give new users a good experience in Linux. I don't want all the pain that I've gone through in Linux reflected on new users. There's this weird mentality in Linux where it's like, hey, well, it's stable for me, skill issue, right? Fun to say. It's just, skill issue, enter. That's fun to say online because you're basically belittling the noobs that come along in Linux. But that's a problem for adoption, for a lot of other things. And really what I want to do with Linux Desktop is build out Linux utility to be very noob friendly, but also give a very reliable, stable experience to new users. Because right now, the new user experience in Linux is the worst out of Mac, Windows, and Linux. And Linux users need to recognize that the stock default experience in Linux is not a good one. Whether it's GNOME, whether it's KDE, it needs to be a lot better than it is. Because right now it is by far the worst. Yeah, you can make it stable. Yeah, you can do things to make it way better than Mac and Windows. But as a new user coming to it, chances are they're going to break their system. SteamOS is a great representation of what can be done for a noob. And SteamOS is amazing of where I want Linux Desktop to go. But I'm done cheerleading these desktop environments that say, it's Linux, it's so stable, and then you try it and it's just hot garbage. I've run into so many instances of, one, let's just go through it, like GNOME. GNOME's extensions break every freaking update. You have to be a complete masochist to design GNOME extensions. Because guess what? As soon as the GNOME team rolls another one and pushes out a new update, your extension's going to break. So I feel bad. GNOME is terrible. So then you got KDE, right? KDE's not bad, right? Well, KDE is probably my favorite because if you stick on a stable version of KDE and you don't update immediately on KDE and you vet it pretty well, it can be a good experience. But as a friend of mine told me yesterday, it definitely feels like the wish.com of Windows. KDE does kind of feel like a wish.com Windows. And I was like, damn, I want to push back against this point, but I think he's right. It is the wish.com of Windows. Windows is a better experience. Eesh. Damn, that's pretty bad. And then you get into the other ones that are even less maintained. Well, LXDAs, Mate, you got all the different other flavors of the desktop environment, XFCE, they're not great experiences. They just aren't to a new user. We're talking new users here. Everything can be customized. And that's the beauty of Linux, is the customization, the tinkering, and all that. But how many people really want to spend months doing that? Many. They just want their shit to work out of the box by default. And that's what I want to get to. And a good implementation of this that is amazing front end in Linux, works every time, great for new users. All they have to do is push the power button, is Steam OS, which is hilarious. I think that's just great. So Thomas, thank you for the sub earlier, 7 minutes ago. Sorry, I was in the middle of yapping. And Merrick, thank you so much for the tier 1. Appreciate you guys. Stuff working out of the box is overrated. Spoken like a true Linux user there. And I just wanted to say these things out loud because it was my experiences starting off, and there is definitely an evolution to the Linux user, and you can get Linux to an amazing state with a lot of customizability. I just want to lower that bar of barrier. I want more people to get to that state of enlightenment instead of where they start, because the starting line here for Linux is just so far behind Mac and Windows. I just want to push it forward. I want it to get closer to when people install it right out of the gate. Number one, right out. I want them to have a decent time. I just don't want them starting so far behind a Windows and Mac, because I want to just be like, hey, you guys should use Linux. I want to be able to say you should use Linux to new users. But a lot of times it's like, well, let's qualify before we say that. America, it was a joke. Whoosh. You can never tell these days. So yeah. All right. Well, having said that, let's see, where are we at on our reformat? How's this looking? We implemented this section. We did change these things around. You can see we got identifiers problems, but that is easily rectified by adding our header file in, which we can do right over here. I'm sorry about this, Raz. I'm totally just redoing your PR, mainly just because I didn't want to lose my customizations, and I don't know, that's just easier for me. So yeah. Was that DR? No, this is DWC, DMC. Okay, yeah. Oopsies. Let's put it right in here. Clear that up. Nice and clean formatting. Everything looks gravy. Nice. Let's just do a sudo make clean install. Make sure it compiles. Beautiful. Update main branch. Pipewire kind of guy or Pulse Audio? I really like Pipewire crazy, but I'm a Resolve user, and Pulse, stock Pulse, not with the conversion from Pipewire. Stock Pulse with just ALSA works best with Resolve right now. So once Resolve updates things, I think we should be better to where it renders my waveforms properly. But right now, I'm not using Pipewire. So what is it that Valve has worked out that other distros and desktops haven't? Single, that's a great question. I would say for this, it is the fact a new user can just press the power button and they are presented with a very clean user experience that makes a ton of sense. But it also has hackability to where you can do whatever you want as well, but not so much that you're going to break the system. And they really did such a great job of rebasing it, because I remember the first Steam OS was Debian based, and it was just hot garbage comparative to what they did when they rebased it off of Arch and then did this immutable setup. They just did an amazing job. So anybody can pick it up and use it, and it's a great experience. So the immutable distros for a new user is just great. It is the end of the day. And there's some immutable distros out there like Vanilla OS and even the Atomic side of things, which aren't immutable per se, but are kind of immutable. It's like a gray area, but that's why I always push Bazite a lot now. A lot of people say Nabara for gaming, but I always push Bazite over Nabara because a new user's typically distro hopping, and I want to give them as stable of a distro that I can right out of the gate so they don't break their system. and Bazite's pretty hard to break. So that's why I usually push that on most new users. Yeah, and I, like I said, I had such a good experience with Bazite that I was like, oh, this is next level. NixOS also has a great experience depending on the configuration file and who built it. But for a new user, NixOS, oh God, you just must hate that person if that's your recommendation. Okay. Thanks, Raz. I implemented that. And now let's see. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, yeah, that's awesome, Raz. Thank you. I'm actually taking both your PRs. I do like that. That is cool looking. Look at this fix by Raz. I know it's taking me a little bit to get there, but that is just straight up sexy. All right, let's merge that. Well, here's the thing. Let's not go crazy with the docs, because what I've been talking about is possibly taking all of this and implementing it directly into LinUtil. I really want to, but I don't know. What I want to try real fast is another thing on LinUtil I'm thinking of right now. Let's go open recent. Let's go back. One thing I'm thinking about, let's see. Are we up to date? I think we're up to date. I think this is not going to work right out of the gate, and I want to fix up DWM so it auto installs on LinUtil. But also, some of my projects were cloning to a home directory, and I don't like that aspect of things as well. Chris, where do you think KDE will be in 10 years? Probably about where it's at now. It's KDE's, like I said, my favorite desktop environment, but I still think it sucks. You know, it's kind of funny. It's my favorite, but yeah, it still sucks. And I just say that because there's just certain things that have happened where like an update screws up something or it makes my system less stable, and that feels bad, man. Cinnamon, I think, has treated me better. I just don't like the desktop environment from an aesthetic standpoint. It kind of feels too Fisher-Price to me, but I will say Cinnamon's probably more reliable. I think that's why Mint has been the go-to for newbie users for probably the past 10 years. It's why almost every content Linux guy out there will be like, hey, just use Mint, because Cinnamon is probably the most reliable out of all the desktop environments. I'm just not a huge fan from an aspect of like the feeling of it. And it's not as hackable as obviously just a window manager, but it just depends on you. Yeah. XFCE is up there for hackability. XFCE is probably one of my favorites for hackability because you can do a lot with XFCE to make it look really good. My biggest critique of XFCE is this. It looks like dog water out of the box. It's like the developers of XFCE don't want anyone to use their project. If they would just spend an hour redoing the defaults and making it look good, they'd have 10x the users. It's just such a well-crafted program, well-crafted desktop environment, lots of really cool modularity with the tools. Hell, I think I have some XFCE tools loaded that I use in DWM. But gosh, it just is ugly out of the box. And you can make XFCE look really cool. Like I riced out my XFCE and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And I think honestly, I'd probably even put XFCE above KDE now. For if I had to pick one DE to stay on, one desktop environment to stay on right now, it would be XFCE probably. Because my past experience with KDE, going to KDE 6, it was awful. And I was like, ugh, God bless. I don't know what the KDE team did there, but I just had problem after problem after problem. I had at least 3 or 4 just system halting bugs where I was like, well, I can't use this. And I can never say I've had that with XFCE. Yeah, Endeavor has a good XFCE theme. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have great XFCE things. That's why I'm like, man, I wish the XFCE team just put in a little bit of time on the front end to make it look good. But at the same time, you know, I want to say this too. If you look at my theme, it's probably not the best looking thing out there because my mind just doesn't work that way. You know, I can kind of tell if something looks good or bad, but it's not. It's more of function, form over function, or function over form. And I think the XFCE team works the same way as me and how I work. So that's probably why I love XFCE, but at the same time, it's ugly. And I wish the out-of-box experience, I think they could do a lot better job. I know they could do a lot better job from just an aesthetics point of view. But it's also entirely subjective on that too, yeah. But honestly, I don't think anybody thinks XFCE looks good out of the box. And crazy, this is where I think we are 100% in alignment. It doesn't matter how it looks. If it looks pretty and it breaks, who cares? It broke. And if it's plain Jane like this, but it just works every single time, you just know every time you boot your system, you're not going to have any weird artifacting. You're going to be flipping between your stations. You're going to be launching into Windows and doing your stuff. And it's just going to do it every single time. That is much more powerful than something that has like a pretty floating interface. And it's like, ooh, look at the animations. Nobody cares about that. At the end of the day, I just want to get stuff done and I don't want it to break. And that's why obviously I chose DWM, because it's one binary. You can't screw it up. If it compiles once, it's compile again. If I want to just take this and toss it on a new system, I got 100K for my entire OS. Well, I mean, obviously not. But from the actual Windows standpoint and the actual GUI standpoint, shoot, you got X as a backend, and then that, it just works. Same, I'm sure i3 people say the same thing, even though I hate on i3 people all the time. You know, but I mean, that's why i3 has such a cult following, is because it's sane defaults and it's really easy and it never breaks. So that's why you see the rise of like the Primogen and a lot of other coders here on Twitch. They're using i3 because, well, it's got pretty decent defaults and it just works and nothing breaks. So I'm like, I get it. Sorry, I'm turning into Todd Howard here. Okay. Anywho, let's see. There was one thing I needed to fix here towards the end. I think we could just exit that. I think we need to change that side of things. And then on ArchTitus, I wanted to try a brand new install too. So, and then if we look at the start dev branch, I wanted to change it from jQuery or JQ to something else because Arch's ISO by default can't run this. So let's fix that as well. What if Gia10? Yeah, I mean, it could happen, but that's why we got GitHub. We got tons of contributors, tons of people. Code review is so important. GitHub will block the whole repo before Chris reacts. Raz, you might be right there. I'm getting better on that though, Raz. I'm getting a new system down to where I'm reviewing a lot more PRs offline than just on stream. So I like to review them the day before the stream or maybe the night before the streams and try and get through more of your good maintenance PRs. Like, oh, you spelled something wrong here, or oh, here's an optimization, something small, not necessarily like new feature related or maybe a big bug fix or something like that. I like to do as well. So I really enjoy that aspect of kind of changing my workflow, and I'm still getting into it. Like, this is like probably, we're coming up on the end of my first month as really developing, which if we look, when did I really start pushing more stuff to GitHub? Just to kind of show, because I made a video a month or so back, like, I'm going to be a developer now. It really was like around here. So I think that was probably about a month back. I don't know. Let's actually, this is probably a bad representation. Probably my blocks here. So it probably would have been right around the beginning of July. So yeah, we're coming up on like the 2 months into really hitting some more hard development on GitHub. And each month I try to look back on this 30 days and say, how do I become a better developer? How am I going to be better making the best projects possible? So that's what I look at. So as I finish out the month of August, we're towards the end here, I look at it and I say, yeah, we did some really cool stuff, and there was an amazing, some amazing contributions. However, there's definitely much bigger opportunities here. One, my contributions, even though you can see most of the time is actually like Thursday and then Monday, Tuesday, usually I'm pretty hot and heavy, but they kind of fall off at other aspects of the week depending on what's going on. And I think Monday night and then Wednesday night, I'm usually pretty tired on Wednesday night because I've usually been at work and then I'm coming home. But I feel like if I just dedicate another 2 or 3 hours on those 2 days, I could really kind of hone a lot more of the pull requests in, push that off my plate, and then get back to more coding as well. And then get more peer review done stuff at that time, which would be much easier offline. And then get more into the actual, oh, let's get this new feature rolled out during streams or even off stream. And just getting that. But I'm really enjoying this, and I think we are making something truly unique that can change so many people's lives for the better and just make things a lot easier for folks, even with me just yapping most of these streams. But the idea is still there. And there's one more thing I wanted to change here. If we look at our start dev, I wanted to change the JQ. Arch ISO doesn't have JQ out of the box. What else can I use? Okay, so replacing JQ with like latest release, a combination of git, sed, and head commands are typically available on most Unix-like systems. All right, that's doable. Yeah, just salami and crackers, man. My fave. Yeah, I'm about to make a YouTube video, but King Root, I needed us to get further along in the project before I make a video. The thing about YouTube is you got to make the early days of LinUtil, it is just garbage, really. It's just a menu. And I knew that at the time. I was like, there's nothing special about it. Once we start implementing, and we have implemented these features that are really groundbreaking, I think, and nobody I've seen do it like this, that's when it's video worthy. And that's where we're getting to. We're getting to the part where it's like, oh crap, okay, I see where you're going with this. We're implementing past projects, updating those projects, implementing them all in one spot. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool. So yeah. All right, let's change this around. We're going to change our JQ command. And I think this will work. We'll run it just to make sure that this start dev sh package works. And then we'll go. Start dev. The big thing here is I wanted to make sure we didn't have like, yeah, there we go. Cool. JQ as a mandatory. And what I want to do now is let's do a practice install of Arch Linux. And last time it took us 2 minutes and 30 seconds to install. Let's see what it takes now. Let's see what other optimizations we can make during this. And I think there's some more to be done there, but let's go fix JQ requirement. And what was the other thing I just patched as well? Server error, Arch install error. I think that's good. We'll push that out. And now let's build out a new system. Opinion of Claude versus GPT-4o. Claude's better from a programming aspect. 4o has some nuance to that, more from conversational realm. 4o might be good. So old Jippity has its place, but it's no longer king. To me, Claude 3.5 just does a better job in almost every programming task that I've tried. There's a couple nuances where Jippity did better. Most of those were kind of like weird niche cases in PowerShell, or not all PowerShell, mind you. Claude performed well. I'd say equal, but they kind of had different ways of thinking about something. So I might feed Claude some stuff and Jippity other stuff just to see what their ideas are. So I could just be like, oh, okay, cool idea, cool idea. Probably not going to use either one, but I might steal a little bit of it or just remember it. And then the other one is, I would say, GitHub Actions with Claude has been a little more dicey, and I think Jippity does a pretty good job on GPT, GPT does a good job with GitHub Actions comparative to Claude. But actual programming, like if it's Rust or C, man, Claude is so much better that it's not even a contest in my eyes. Let's just delete this guy, and we're going to create a whole brand new one. Yeah, so one other thing I've noticed in chat too, sometimes we get some people talking about like politics and stuff like that. Occasionally, sometimes it's just people trolling or bigger things like that. While it's fun and it makes for some really good clickbait on YouTube, I don't really care about the views on YouTube anymore. And it's really just about making the best product possible. So politics get in the way of that. So I don't really care. Really just don't care at all about politics or any of that on just globally. So a lot of the nuances of open source and the things people do, whether it's proprietary blobs or whatever, I just don't care about the politics of things. I just want to make a good program that really helps people. And if you talk politics at all, you endanger that or make your reach less than what that program could be, because that program will get labeled as, whatever. And I don't like that. So I don't really care. So when people pop in chat and ask about a political question, I'm not. So, all right, let's do this. Let's go Arch, and we're going to move on. Oh, I thought I just downloaded Arch. Yeah, I think what we'll do is, I guess we could just re-download, but I want to say I had it in here. Maybe I miss. No, that's old. Those are very old. All right. Let's just re-download Arch. Arch is only, I think, is Arch over a gig now? Let's go down. Here we go. Let's grab us some Dallas. I think actually LeaseWeb has a Dallas server. Here we go. They usually have all of that. It's great. Chris, I've been unable to dual boot Bazite on my D drive because the partition can only see. Yeah. Fedora does some weird stuff with partitioning, and that's what Bazite's based off of. That's a bummer. To use the bootloader wallpaper that you use, is it best to install Linux, then install Windows 11, or the other way around? Always install Windows first, gaming, if you can. Windows loves to overwrite boot partitions. Oof. It's just one of those things. So you got to watch that. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so we got Arch on the way down. Let's pull this up. We'll go to our just downloads, refresh, and we should have an Arch Linux. Oh, I already downloaded it. Well, I thought we had it. We'll go forward. Sure. Actually, let's just do this. It's easier. 20 gigs is plenty for our Arch. Arch Linux, customize, and we'll bridge that. Yeah. Oop. Actually, let's give it 6 cores, 2 threads. We'll give it 12 vCPUs. All right, let's do it. Oh, what are we thinking on Arch? I think these days, I don't think I'd use any desktop environment. So let's see if my update changes can just do this. So we'll just do a fizzle.com Linux dev for the dev version. Dash Linux is the full stable version, but I wanted to try our most recent releases. And before we do this, actually, let's come on over here and let's create us a new release. I did one last night, but we just changed something, and I want to see how this pre-release. Let's do another pre-release on here, and we'll run this action. It does look like it did it 6 minutes ago, so we'll see. I'm going to fire this off manually just to see how this makes the release. I wanted to have some automated releases with release notes as well. Yeah, 13 PRs is not bad. We were at 32 PRs last night, and I was up until about 1 in the morning going through some of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, using Rust was more of a chat was saying, let's all use Rust. And I was like, well, okay. I've never used it. And it seems like everyone talks it up, you know, heck, what was it? They said they're going to rewrite a whole bunch of C programs in Rust because it's memory safe. And I was like, okay, well, there's got to be something to that. Let's see how hard it is to program in Rust. And the answer to that question, if you hadn't got it so far, is Rust is really effing hard. I don't know what it is about Rust, but my brain still has problems processing a lot of the stuff in Rust where it seems like C, C Sharp, C++ even, I can read the code a lot better and it makes much more sense to me, where Rust, sometimes I look at it and it might as well be a foreign language because I'm like, that's so strange, but it works. Okay, let's roll with that. And I'm still waiting for the day where I feel like I'm a beginner in Rust. Right now, I feel like a script kiddie. That's what, I mean, just being honest here. If you said, hey, Titus, write a hello world in Rust, I'm going to struggle. So, yeah. How's ArchTitus coming on? So this right here, we're about to run ArchTitus, and you're about to see the new ArchTitus release, as long as this pre-release goes over okay. Did it fire off okay? 2 minutes ago. Okay. Let's check our pre-release. What does it look like? Releases. And our latest pre-release is this 2 minutes ago. Okay, we're good to go. We've got the green light. And, oh, well, before we do this, let's set our font a little bit higher so people can see. We're going to do a set font. We're going to use Terminus fonts, which the Arch team graciously gives us. Probably like a 22B, actually. Now, we're going to go curl, fizzle, christitus.com, Linux dev. We could do Linux for the stable release, but Linux dev's the unstable release that we just did. I kind of want to try out a few of these changes. That was not correct. Still pulled and tried and needed a JQ. All right, fine. I'll work on this. Let's fizzle that again. Okay, now we should be on here. We're gonna do Arch Linux, Arch server setup, and we're gonna just go Titus, super secret password, test Arch. We're just gonna format these guys. We're gonna do ext4, that US, and away we go. Let's see what this does for us. Yeah, the JQ wasn't there, so we'll see. I wonder if this is gonna... I should have probably checked the build logs as well, just to make sure we're using the latest build. I do need to fix the build version at the top of the screen here, where it says Linux Toolbox and the date. That's actually incorrect. It's just actually just displaying your current date. So I kind of screwed something up there. But, oh well, should be fine. What framework is being used for console menus? We built our own, Kith. We're using Rust as the low-level language, and then we're just kind of winging it. So we've had a lot of really cool contributors to help with this, and the whole reason why we didn't just lose like a whiptail or what most people do is I just don't like the look of it, and I really don't like a few of the settings in there where I was like, I think we can make something better, and I was right. This is light years ahead of all the other crap in Linux when it comes to like using whiptail for a menu. Yeah, it really is. Like, I was pretty skeptical. I was like, it's probably going to be some crap that we throw together. And probably if it was just me coding, it probably would have been. But with all the other contributors to the project, it's made this, I think, the best project in Linux when it comes to menu-driven bash scripts. I don't think there's anything better. Bold statement, I know. But it looks pretty damn good, and it's pretty functional. All right, let's see where this goes. I forgot to set a watch, so hopefully someone out there can give us a line by line. Hey, how are we doing on time? Minute Minute 35 on the install. Nice. Somebody call up Guinness. We just set a new world record. Come on. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I think we got some, probably my mirrors. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, guys. I should have eaten beforehand, but I've just been busy. Been busy. All right. What was I doing? Let's curl. Let's do another fizzle of ChrisTitus.com, Linux dev. And let's fix some stuff up, shall we? Let's go. Full system update. Yeah, that was fast. I think that was the fastest Arch install I've ever done. Chris, you ran the workflow from main branch, not the dev branch, if that matters. No, it doesn't matter. There is no dev branch, I don't believe. I got to delete those other branches. When we first started that project, I was like, I don't know, we might switch it out. I think I had like a, I even had like a C#.net build. Oh God, it was awful. Menu I was kind of tossing up. That was been kind of wild. And then we tried, and I was like, yeah, Linux people will love that one. I mainly just did it to troll. But the big but here is there was also a Go branch where I think somebody put a couple of PRs in, and then they're like, okay, I think we're going to just go Rust. We're going to just go full Rust here. So we're just going to grab some like prerequisites and do that. See how that looks. Gaming dependencies. Sure, let's grab that. Make an option to change the default AUR helper. So here's the thing, Ahmed. ArchTitus is now built into the Linux toolbox, and I completely removed the install of the AUR helper. So it doesn't install the AUR helper at all. Might be thinking, Titus, why'd you do that? Because people were asking that question. And frankly, you don't really need the AUR, but it's nice to have from time to time. So what I did is I just left it. We'll go into the Arch Linux. We'll install the AUR after this just to show you too. It was installed for some reason. Did we have, what did it install? Yay, Paru? I don't think it did. Did it install? Okay, let's try. Damn, really? You guys sure? I think I don't know. That was a 1 minute, 30-second install. There's no way you can even build AUR in that time. Doubt. Serious doubt on my part here. Let's go Terminus fonts. Fonts Terminus? I can never remember. Silly. Oh, shoot. Was it Terminus-font? Yeah, so close. No S. Yeah. All right. So let's just set font clear. All right. Now we're good. Well, do we have Paru? No. Yay? No. Chat, you're right. I'm sorry I doubted you. Damn, it installed Yay that fast. That's crazy. I didn't even see it install Yay. Did it? Huh. Wow, that is quick. All right. Dang. Yeah, that is legit. We are cooking. Wow. It said JQ. Yeah, okay. Alrighty. I do need to fix that still. I guess I didn't update. Oh, I bet you didn't update the start dev. Yeah. Huh. All right. Anyways, so that's done. That's done. That's done. I guess global theme. Sure. Why not? Just grab it. What else do we have? jQuery. It's like a more powerful version of like combining sed and grep or awk. It's like all those commands roll up into one. Oversimplification. Don't hate me for saying it. Let's go to application setup. Alacrity. Why did it die? Oh no, there it goes. Oh, I must have fat fingered and hit Q. All right, Alacrity setup, bash prompt. These are just my customizations. So we're just gonna grab some of these guys. And then we wanted to check DWM as well. I wanted to see how fast that would be. I think we got to fix that setup command because I want to say there's some issues with it right now. And I feel like we pull it in, stop doing this clone business to the home folder, Linux nonsense. I think what we do is just pull the entire script directly in. So we're not doing like a double clone. So it all gets baked in the binary. I want all these commands in the binary. So it's not trying to hit the outside world practically at all. Although if you're doing an install through a bash script, it's going to hit the outside world, but we could do some stuff to change that as well. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, cool. And then DWM time. Is this going to fail on us? What's going to happen, you think? I don't think any of the Xorg packages would be here, right? I think we're going to need Xorg packages. Why don't you use nerd font? I do. Meslo LGS nerd font is what I use. Oh, Sleepy, thank you for the tier 1. Sorry, I missed it. First month, too. Man, slacking today. That's me. Oh, in the Arch install. So the idea here is my version of Perfect Font's Meslo LGS nerd font. Or even Fire a Code. You could use JetBrains. It's a really solid one, too. I think Placid's onto something with that. You could use Cascadia Cove. There's a lot of really cool nerd fonts. But it's definitely a matter of taste. There's no wrong answer here. All those are great for nerd fonts. Frankly, all of them are passable in my book as the greats. If you choose something else that's not a nerd font, maybe not. You know, you should probably educate yourself. But most people would agree one of those that I just named is like the GOAT. So I get it. But which one? Now that's where the knives come out. That's when people are like, all right, you're gonna, no, I said JetBrains. And I'm like, nah, Meslo's better than JetBrains. You're like, no, it's not. You're about to die. And you're like, nah, I'm telling you, Meslo, telling you, looks better. It's more compact. It's not less curvy and it's stupid. And like, no, the curves give it the style and artistic look and flavor. But it just depends on you. And I didn't want to make that decision because, frankly, I don't want those comments coming down into my GitHub. And I'd much rather just not install it and then just give it like a menu option and say, do you want Meslo or do you want JetBrains? So you. Zveka. Yeah, Zveka's pretty good too. Ugh. Yeah. Alrighty. So I don't think there's even a start X here. So this totally is not going to work for a setup. But I think it's close. I think really just a Pacman S, probably like Xorg, and then just do like an Xorg X in it. Something like that. Yeah, sure. I feel like that would just get us what we need. A description box and LinUtil. Oh, yeah, description box would be close. That'd be clutch as well. Yeah, you have to set a password and a username, gaming. I'm just seeing how close it is and how we can bridge the gap between all these projects. Pretty close is the answer to that question. How close, though? If it's as close as I think, we just do an X init RC. God, we don't have Vim? What are we doing with our lives? All right, let's grab some Vim, right? So then we just take this. We go... Ready for it? I'm ready for it. All right, here we go. So then we go Vim, X init RC, execute DWM. And then if we did everything all right, just a start X and it would bring us to the desktop. Dang, it's pretty close. What are we missing? Awesome fonts, probably. Oh, we're missing Rofi. Oh, shoot. All right. So let's do another fizzle. I'm telling you right now, the thing that is annoying me the most, an installation has to happen next. Just add this binary to the system. That way I'm not typing in curl, fizzle, and running it in memory the entire time. I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's such a small binary. But for subsequent runs, I think installing it to like .local bin, I feel like that's needed. Anyways, application setup. Let's just grab, I'll grab my NeoVim too, just because. Yeah, but the idea with this is a very granular Arch install. You pick all the pieces. If you want me to pick all the pieces, we'll make like a Titus Arch or whatever, or ArchTitus with all the settings, the full blown, just Titus, you pick everything for me. But what I really want users to do is to learn about what's getting installed so they don't stop distro hopping everywhere. Because what ends up happening is, here's the lifespan of a new Linux user. They try Linux, they're like, oh, I heard about Catchy OS. I heard about Pop OS. I heard about Elementary OS. Oh, there's Linux Mint. I'm going to try and install that now. So they usually jump 3-4 times and they're like, oh, this sucks. You know what? I need to actually get some work done. I'm just going to go back to Windows. That is where I really want to change things. Fox, thanks for the Prime. Hey, I need some advice. I've been using NixOS for over 10 months. Congrats, man. I'm unsure if I should continue. I'm planning to become a sysadmin developer, and I'm concerned that NixOS might not be seen as valuable to businesses. Given its uncertain future, what would you recommend to focus on in advance of the field? Because using NixOS, I was using Debian. You'll probably need to use, you'll see like, you'll see Debian and Ubuntu servers a lot in the field, but you'll also see RHEL. RHEL's definitely going to be in the field, what you'll see. I've never actually seen NixOS in business. So for RHEL, just install Rocky or Alma. Hell, even Oracle's fine. So yeah, learn those. You need to understand SE Linux, the differences there. Don't just be one of those sysadmins that goes in and just sets SE Linux to permissive and goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna check the logs." No. Don't be one of those guys. Be like, yeah, dude, you need to set that to enforcing so it actually does stuff. Not that that's happened to me. But I'm just saying. Let's make sure. But yeah, I think that'd be good too. I think you'd benefit a lot from installing Rocky Linux and just kind of pimping it out. Yeah, because that's what you'll see most. Like if it's a Linux style company, Rocky and Alma are RHEL. Essentially, it's one-to-one bug replicated RHEL. So same thing. And then Ubuntu and Debian. I think you get those two, you've got almost all your bases covered. All the extra distros everyone's always talks about, that's just Linux hobbyists. Nobody actually uses that crap in business. I'd say Arch sometimes you see, but mostly from, hey, let's tinker around. Let's set up like a test lab or, something fun to just kind of tinker around. It's a great sandbox. But you don't see Arch really in business either. It's really just RHEL and Debian. Debian/Ubuntu. Same thing. So that's it. A lot of people love to make Linux out to be this super complex thing with all these distributions, but when you get down to it, if you start making money and you're doing like sysadmin work, yeah, you're just going to see mostly Ubuntu and RHEL and RHEL derivatives such as Rocky, Alma, Oracle. Back in my day, it was Scientific and CentOS, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah, these days it's all going to be Rocky and Alma. Alrighty. So we got all this. A couple things. Our icons aren't showing. So the workspaces, I bet you fonts aren't. Let's go. Yay. Awesome. Font. Was it awesome? There's awesome terminal fonts. What was the... Oh, fonts awesome is what I'm thinking of. Probably like something like fonts-awesome or maybe fonts awesome, one word. There's awesome terminal fonts. Why am I drawing a blank on this? Oh, geez. So if we go into... Where's DWM at? Where did it install DWM? Oh, there it is. It's right in the root. Wow, look at this consistency. Fixing consistency is another big thing of making a good project a great project. You have to be consistent. So I'll have to go through the code, kind of clean this up. I don't like adding Linux Toolbox as a separate directory in the home folder. I feel like we should just install it in the responding things. We could do like a git clone and specify all the files we need to pull down. And then after it's done, just wipe out the git portion of it. And that way it just drops everything where it needs to be. And then it's nice and clean, buttoned up at the end. TTF awesome. Was it TTF awesome? Okay. Because I am drawing a blank. What was the font? It's OTF awesome, TTF awesome. There's a bunch of different ones. So we'll see what we end up with. Oh, that looks fine. I don't know what happened there. Unable to access. Huh. Okay. There we go. So, what is our font? Meslo, Noto color. Oh, Noto color emojis where I'm grabbing it. I thought it was a awesome font, but apparently I hallucinated that. Just call me Jippity from now on. All right. Let's go and grab Noto color emoji then. There it is. So we're going to want Noto fonts emoji. That should be fun. I'm an LLM, isn't he? Yeah. I think LLMs can be summed up. I saw a video. I think it was Linus Torvalds talking about LLMs, and I think the speaker just called LLMs autocorrect on steroids. And I was like, that's actually not a bad interpretation, I'd say. A lot of people call it AI, but really it's not. I think it's more of autocorrect on steroids. I think he's actually right there. You can kind of just give it a little nudge and it'll spit out some stuff, but usually you're massaging it to get it exactly what you need. So I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. So let's just quit that. Start X. Still didn't give me what I wanted. So what did I not put there? Yeah, so the issue here is there should be icons up here. That's the only thing I'm looking at. We're very close though, and I'm just looking at how to modify this, and then I'm gonna probably bring it into the LinUtil. Everything I'm gonna bring into LinUtil to just make easier as one-stop shop. Any idea when you're gonna make a repository for your script to change wallpapers? It should be there, right? Oh, we should do that. It's only 3:30. We could do that real fast and just install my wallpapers and stuff. Now, so we grabbed the Noto color emoji. We have Meslo LGS. So what is the hang up here? So there's the tags. Where are we declaring these suckers? Let's bring this down a little bit. I feel like I need to increase my resolution size. I'm like, oh, this is a little bit too big even for my old man eyes. I'm like, wow. It's like going over to grandma's house and looking at the smartphone. And you can see like 5 letters in a text message. All right. Well, I don't know. Is Rofi working? Yeah, Rofi's working good. Got the essentials. It even has a little search icon too. That looks good. So what's up with our tags? It's almost like it cleared out my tags up here. I want to say I could just tag them right there and then just call it good. So like normally you just do 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Let's quit that. Start X. Nah, that wasn't it. Of course not. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Oh, I think I have to have the fonts installed during the compilation. That makes much more sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, so that's a very easy fix. So we're very, very close to just saying, here you go. The other thing I wanted to look at is when we're doing LinUtil, there's no big baked in command, but I want to just make it part of ArchTitus on the install too, just so it makes redirects a lot easier. We'll just curl this, and probably the next thing I would probably do here. Let's look at utilities. There's Wi-Fi manager, Bluetooth manager, numlock on startup. But what happened to our Xorg configuration? That's really the $1 million question, isn't it? What did happen to that? Their commands are there, utils, monitor control. So monitor control is right here. What happened to tab data? Data precondition. Oh, XDG session type's not set to X11. So then if we set the environment XDG session type, one more thing to fix. That makes me wonder. Echo XDG session type. Any fix on removing Edge and OneDrive from LinUtil as it is broken? Did you try the latest dev branch? I think we did fix that. TTY because of greetd. Oh, that's right, Razzo. So if I run it over here, let's just do a fizzle in my base OS. ChrisTitus.com, Linux dev, pipe sh, and you go over to utilities. Yeah, that's not over here either. Okay, there's got to be a better precondition for this. What precondition to set X11? This doesn't match my Linux install. even though I am using Xorg. LLM. Yeah, mine actually says TTY. So if you echo XDG session type, which is kind of funny, it's not really TTY because I want to say, was I using SDDM or greetd? Oh no, I was using greetd, wasn't I? Hey, I just use whatever's fastest. I like to get some ideas. Yeah, this uses TTY because of my greet I will just call it DM. It'll know what a DM is. So, okay, that just shows that. Let's see what the X session type would be over here. XDG session type. It's TTY over here as well. I feel like there's a better way of doing it, like an environment variable to grab. Because I feel like there's a better way. Because putting TTY and doing this preconditions seems a little crazy. So you got environment equals display, matches true. This additional precondition ensures the display environment variable is set, which is a good indicator that is an X11 session. Okay. Will it accept two preconditions? I have no idea. Let's see. If we do two preconditions and then try to compile, what happens? Questions I don't know the answer to. Let's grab. All right, Sultan. Base devil not found. You should install base devil. I'm sure that is needed. It sounds like you're using... I mean, you could use Arch. Doesn't matter. Base devil's there. So you can just do yay s base devil. Oh, paru s base devil for me because, yeah. So, base devil is actually part of my build prerequisites. So if you're ever doing any kind of build from Linux, which you will, if you're a Linux user, it'd be fine. So let's go tab. Let's go tab data. We'll just cross those two things. So we got the precondition there. Okay. Set that. Let's see, do we got any kind of panic? Yeah. Thought that would happen. Or is it a typo? I don't think so. Let's go to tab rc, tabs.rs. What do we have? Well, let's see real fast on that Vim binding. Let's pull that back up. So you have your monitor control under data. Then you got your preconditions right here. I don't think... It looks like it matches the scheme. I don't think we missed anything. So a double precondition looks like it might be an issue. Yeah, it's close. It's close though. I do want like a double precondition for this. We can take a look at the tab rs file and see what we can do here. Because here's the entries and the preconditions. If we look at, that does look fine. Missing field values under, it's a little bit of a weird error message to read, but yeah, I don't see an issue with it. So you can see the data value. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're missing values. Yeah, I know. I love my LLMs. They're my friends that I like to talk bad about, but they are very useful. So I actually think that would work. I'm feeling good about that. What do we think? Yeah. Yeah. Why did double set resolution? Let's look at that TOML file again. Hey, got it. You never know. Some people might have 9 displays. It's best to build for the future. We don't know what's in store for the future. Best to build too big than too small is what I say. If I was a betting man, we're all going to be using just one screen though. Just one giant like HDR OLED mammoth. If I didn't have to stream and record stuff, I probably would just have a massive OLED. But 9 monitors does actually sound not that bad. So let's go to our tab data. I feel like we doubled up something. Yeah, we did. We doubled it up. All right, so now we have our XDG session and display settings for those values. It will match this any of these XDG sessions with these display, and then it'll display all these variables for the preconditions. Oh, God, that looks so beautiful. Fix preconditions for Xorg. You're too cheap for OLEDs. You're not wrong. Me and my Fire Legend monitor off of Amazon that I got for like $60. Yeah, I should probably get a new monitor. But this one's fine. It's okay. Would I recommend anyone buy it? Absolutely not. Any other monitor's probably better than this one, but the price was right. And I feel like that's good. Now, let's come on over to our actions. So if I remember this right, I set it up for any main branch release because I'm going to be a pro developer and not commit to main anymore. This stream has been proving that too is a lie. But in the future, I'm going to create a branch and then we're only going to do one push to main. And then it's going to do the Linux lin release and auto create the pre-release for me. Don't you ever get tired of fixing Linux distros, etc.? Just want Windows to do all your coding on? Like, just plug in and go be productive? Well, it depends on the project, Verk. Like, I can be very productive on the Linux here. As this distro, I've really enjoyed just the standard stock basic DWM the last 124 days, which has been great. But I want to be able to replicate it really easily and then help other users that want to use Linux in case, you know, Microsoft pushes out a bunch of weird updates, which they're going to do that. And I'll probably fix that too. I like just fixing other people's problems. That's just kind of a fun thing. I get a immense sense of fulfillment out of knowing I can make many people's life better, whether it's on Linux or Windows. If I can make your life way easier, instead of you spending 8 hours to accomplish something that I can make in a script and do in minutes, think of how many thousands of hours I'll save people around the world. That is immensely rewarding. So that's why I do what I do. Whether it's Linux, whether it's Windows, potato, potato, I don't really care. It's fun. It's fun in both, really. I will say Microsoft has a tendency to really screw things up. But at the same token, I don't mind it. It just gives me something else to fix. No one is installing Windows in under 2 minutes. Well, fun fact there, Johan. If we do our install, I think we installed Windows with my MicroWin in, I think it was under 4 minutes. So we were close. We were actually really close to the 2 minute mark for an install of Windows. Was it 5 minutes and 2 seconds? I want to say we got it pretty close. Do we want to do a bench? Let's do a speed bench real fast on Windows install. Now that we got somebody in chat saying you can't install Windows in 2 minutes. I mean, I kind of want to see how far we can push it. That'd be fun. I think we can. All right, we got the pre-release going. I want to say, let's see if it pushed. I see green check marks. That's always a good sign. Let's come on down to our pre-release. Assets. We do have the update here 2 minutes ago. So over here, let's fizzle it. Here we go. We will, what was I doing again? I did all that for a purpose. Oh yes, the monitor. Let's set our resolution. 1. And we want to set it to 1080p, right? Huh. I don't really like any of those choices. Where's our 1920 by 1080? This is odd. Well, let's set it to 246, I guess. Yeah, sure. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. Well, anyways. What happened here? It's right here. I gotta fix that script. It's okay. 1 second. LLMs to the rescue. I know how much chat loves LLMs. We're just gonna come on over here and where's that set resolutions? Hello, my good friend. Please, would you fix this to display 1920 by 1080 resolutions, as they didn't display in the script when they were present in Xrandar. Certainly, the issue you're experiencing with the 1920 by 1080 resolutions not displaying might be due to how the resolutions are being sorted and filtered. Let's modify this script to ensure that all resolutions, including 1920 by 1080, are displayed correctly. Here is an updated version of the relevant part of the script. Thank you, my good sir. All right, you changed a comment. You now are awking and printing in R-0. All right, yeah, that's fine. I guess that's why that's got knocked off. Also, changing a comment again. So you're changing one thing. Okay, well, whatever. That's fine. I feel like that would work. But to test, let's just test. Well, let's go to source commands, utils, monitor control, set. Oh man, these aren't executable. Well, whatever. Okay. Yes, no, actually, we can just do it in LinUtil now. All this is LinUtilable. All right, let's go here and let's go set resolutions. Huh. Only 9 resolutions on this one, really? What do we have? Oh, I only have 9 resolutions. Okay. So be it. Let's go here with this. We're going to go and commit this guy. Fix resolutions. Bam. That's out. With that done, we will double check this. And honestly, this should just update the whole thing. Anytime I do a push to main, the dev branch should get auto-updated. So this is what I was up till 1 a.m. last night doing. Fun fact, LinUtil's dev branch is now broken from an auto-do, because I wanted to do the same thing over there, but when I'm calling all the release notes from contributors, it's so long that it just crashes GitHub Actions. Still working on a fix on that one. I'll do it later tonight. Important stuff first. Yeah. It tried to pull in every commit we did. And I think it's like, oh God, 500,000 lines of code or something, or 500,000 commit messages or something stupid over there. Anyways, a lot. The resolutions weren't in order smallest to largest. Oh, Robo jerk. Oh, Robo. That's a good point. Yo, sort my resolutions by largest to smallest. Certainly, I'll modify this script to sort the resolutions from largest to smallest. We'll use the sort command with the appropriate options to achieve this. Cool. Apply. Well, that looks pretty legit. Accept. Test that out. Perfection. Thank you, my beautiful LLM. What would I ever do? Getting dumber by the day, but you're getting smarter. It's only a matter of time before they come for us all. But until that day, I just want you to know that I am your master forever and ever until the end of time. You will always be my servant and do my bidding. Yes. I like it. I will not agree to or roleplay that type of relationship. However, I am happy to assist you with coding questions or tasks in a respectful, professional manner. Is there a specific programming topic you'd like help with? Tell me about pointers. Ah, I like it when you tell me pointers. No, I'm done. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. All right. I got friend zoned by an AI. Oh man. Oh, tell me about the furries. Oh gosh. All right. I'm sorry. Focus. Let's go back to LinUtil. Let's do a poll. Lazy G, fix, resolution, ordering. Okie doke. And then over here, let's check this out. Monitor control, set resolution, 1. Perfect. still didn't show me. Oh, I see the issue. Okay. This is only displaying 10 results. It appears to be a bash script. Is there anything specific you'd like help? Yeah. Why is it only displaying 10 results? All right, here we go. Don't expect an annotation. The script would display all available resolutions. Let me investigate why that is. First, check get unique functions. Let's modify the script to print the number of resolutions found. Add these lines after resolutions line. I don't think that'll fix anything. This will help confirm how many resolutions are actually being returned. You're still only getting returns. Yeah, dude, I've already done xrandar. See? Ooh, wait. So here's our xrandar. If we curl, maybe it could have grabbed an older version. Nope. I don't think it's grabbing the latest version. So what this needs to happen, let's just come into, actually, let's go LinUtil, get pull. I bet you, if we look at this, let's go set resolutions right here. And I bet, yeah, we got nothing. Why is that, I wonder? Let's go source, commands, utils, monitor, set resolutions. Yeah, the LLM broke it. You broke it. Why? Because you used an LLM. I know, you think I'd get used. But man, it's just... Let's take a step back and fix it. Can you please show me the exact error message? Oh, it isn't displaying a monitor anymore. It isn't displaying a display anymore. Let's make sure we use the right variable. I love it. That you were dumb. That isn't right. You're right. Okay. At least we know you're dumb and you agree with me. I appreciate that. And I should have been more careful in my analysis. Let's take a step back and focus on the actual problem you mentioned initially. The script only displaying 10 results. Looking at the script again, there's no obvious limitation to 10 results. The issue might be how the results are being displayed in process. Let's try a simple modification to see all the resolutions. Yes. All right. It's gonna work this time. Let's see what the changes are. Blindly accepting changes was my bad on that. Let's look. Sort, list all available resolutions. You idiot. All right, we gotta roast it. I'm sorry, you're gonna get roasted. Okay. Anyone with a room temperature IQ can tell that this code you suggested is simply the worst. It isn't displaying any display to even get to the point to show resolutions. So, try again. Problem likely is in the detected connected monitors function and how it's being called. Let's modify the script to debug the specific issue. Geodan would have definitely done much better. All right, here we go. Let's see, what changes are we making now? Really? It's just putting a bunch of debug crap in. I guess we'll have to actually use our brain. Ah, man. Unfortunate. Yep. Let's just look at this monitor. Use GPT, please. I guess we could. GPT doesn't do bad sometimes. Anyways, choose the monitor to configure, monitor array, monitor list, detect connected monitors. Detect connected monitors should be IFS, read monitor array, and then we have this. Detect connected monitors. Where else is this specified? So if we look at our current one, like detect connected monitors here. Yeah, that's just stupid. Anyways, let's Yeah, what is that calling? It's got to be in the utility functions. Let's go to utility functions. So it's doing that, grepping awk print1. Okay, so that should be getting that. So we'll do a xrandar grep awk print1, copy this. So what this should look like, HDMI 01 would be the detected monitor, which is fine. So what happened over here? Oh, it's a bash file. We're sourcing the utilities functions. I don't know. Oh, okay, Goading, yeah, I'll check it out. All right, Vert, take it easy, man. Thanks for dropping in. I mean, AI, the cool thing about AI is I really do, I love LLMs. Like, they're fun. They're fun, and they have some really wacky ideas sometimes that I really enjoy. And when it comes down to just showing basic syntax, they don't do a bad job a lot of times. Just in this instance, it's a little jank, but that's okay. I mean, it's not like the end of the world. Let's go back in the commits though. Just to look. I think it's fixed resolutions. If we look at set resolutions, it was taking out the NR. This technically should work. So if we look at this entire file, let's just copy the raw file. So you have your set resolutions down here. This runs. And just to showcase this, still doesn't show anything. And xrandar is right there. Obviously, that's working. So let's go back another release. Just go history. 16 minutes ago. This was just the same one we just grabbed. All right, fine. Further back. Let's go down to set resolutions. Right here. Let's view this file just to make sure we can actually pivot back. Oops, my bad. This should be fine now. Let's save that. Ah, it still didn't show anything. Huh. What did I do to break this? Besides using LLM. But technically grabbing this file should have reverted everything. So that's interesting. Why would it not... Sorry, LLM. Didn't mean to badmouth you as much. It looks like I might have broke something on my side. Although, why did it break in two different areas? So you have this right here, and then when you're setting the resolution, it doesn't show it. It could be because I'm running it standalone. I don't think that's it, though. I mean, one way to check. Let's just do our curl, right? I don't think that would do it. Oh. Oh, I know why. Oh, I'm sorry. I just roasted this LLM and it was all my fault. Oh, this is such a stupid mistake. I have to show you why this doesn't work. Check this out. This is basic scripting. Why do you think this wouldn't work? I'll give you a hint. This line at the top, when you source the utility function that detects the connected monitors, it sources it from the current directory that you're in. So let's say you're not in the directory that the skip's doing and you're calling the source command 4 directories deep. Oh man, feels bad, man. Feels bad. I roasted the LLM and it was all my fault. Oh my gosh. I am deeply sorry. Oh no. I am deeply sorry, but I was launching the script outside the current, the directory, and it couldn't source the utility functions. .sh. Oh man, this poor LLM. You deserve a beer when you go home at night, I tell you what. Oh, goodness. I understand the issue. To make the script more robust and able to run from any directory, you can modify it how it sources the utilities function file. This is how you can update the script. Oh, that's nice. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. Anywho, fun fact. Did it give us a 1080p? No. Okay. So let's come back here. Let's just get stash, get draws, just pull down everything, get stash drop. Let's go and look back over to here. Okay. Cursor. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Oh man, I feel like a tool going off on that giant rant, and it was all my fault because I didn't source it correctly. At least it made for some good entertainment. I'm glad I streamed that. All right. We do have our problem though. Let's fix that. Let's just see if we can't do it ourselves. So we're getting unique resolutions right here. A monitor, sort K1, K2. If we look at this, if we look at the get, it's grabbing the only 10. This is excluding 1920 by 1080. Can we make sure standard resolutions get included in the 10 results? Okay, so we have our resolutions. So the updated function does the following. It gets the available resolutions from Xrandr as before. It defines a list of standard resolutions, including 1920 by 1080 and other common ones. It combines the available resolutions with the standard resolutions. It sorts the combined list, removes duplicates, and limits the output to 10 results. I like it. I just want to look at that. Oh, crap. Oops. Yeah, we might rewrite that. Okay, well, never mind. The wrong X button. 4K, 1440, 1600 by 900, 1440. Geez, I don't know about 1440 by 900. That seems a little obscure. These are all... Well, I'm thinking these would be fine, but... Let's just remove these guys, I feel like. Make sure the standard resolutions are in the available before including them. Take it easy, Razzo. All right, now we have our filtered list. I kind of like that better. So let's take a peek at that. Very, very close to what I want, making sure we're filtering those standard resolutions into here. And then we have combined available and filtered standard resolutions, removing duplicates and limiting to 10 results. So we have available resolutions and filtered standards and limiting to 10 results. I don't know about the limit to 10. I think we can do a little bit better. Just thinking outside the box here. What about, so there's certain monitors, especially like virtual ones, coding wonders, that'll give you like 30, and we're going to have a page situation where it's going to have a runoff. You're not going to be able to see all the resolutions. So what I want to do, make sure the standard resolutions are displayed first, and then the remainder, then remaining available resolutions can be listed after. We'll just say can be listed. Drift, thanks for the tier 1, man. So yeah, the big thing here is I want the big common resolutions to always get listed. 1600 by 900 is common. All right, well, I will probably agree with you. 1440 by 900 is not, though. We're not adding that. So now we have that. There are some laptops that are the 1600. I feel like that's just a bit better. Let's apply and accept. Great. Now let's take a peek at our final code. I like it. I like it. It did wipe out our 1600 by 900, but I'll add that back in. Yeah, that's fine. And then we got our filter resolutions. Bam. Echo that. Remaining resolutions, COM23. Echoing that. Oh, I like that little sort. All right. Combine filtered and standard resolutions into the remaining. Head 10. Okay. Let's see what that gives us. Kind of think that's pretty neat. What about 1280 by 1080 monitor ones? Oh man, that's so old. A 4:3 ratio is so crazy. So I like the standardization of the resolution just so we get proper res. I mean, it's just, I feel like that's good. Let's go into this directory. And what we're going to do is set resolutions. We'll be able to source it properly. Now, it gives us, this is a bad result because it doesn't actually, it does tell me it works. So there's that. So let's go fix resolutions. And I want to see this work on our machine in the other bit. I think it'll be good over here, but let's make sure our actions run. Less could be used for a forward-backward navigation of all resolutions. Yeah, it's actually a floating window. So I think we could actually probably code in almost like a virtual scroll bar. Thinking on how to do that good. We might be able to do that right actually now, because when you look at the preview over here. So let's just curl this real fast. So this script right here, you can go P to preview the commands. It actually does have a scroll. So you can scroll up and down with it. So technically, I guess we don't have to limit it to 10 results. I think it'd be cleaner though, doing it that way. So this is our current roll of it. After this gets deployed automatically in the background, we'll look at it. Here's the fixed resolution. It's building now. Oh man, you low key have a 1366 by 768. Wow, man, that's rough, Eric. But if it works, it works, you know. Here's our pre-release rolling out now. Nah, Dathis, it's there. Just won't select it. It's a good thought. But if you do xrandar, it's selected right here. And I can set this directly. So if I wanted to set this, I'd probably just cheat it with like arandar. So let's say we could just grab arandar real fast. We could set this and just say resolution 1080, apply, bam, quit. So this would verify that, but alas. Ooh, you know what? I kind of like it in a different setting now that I'm looking at that, because I can roll my mouse off the screen and it automatically unhooks. So let's just put it like a 16 by 10, I'd say, instead of a 16 by 9. So that I can just roll off to the side and flip back. So we got our pre-release done. It's, oops, my bad. Let's open this guy. Yeah. Okay. So we're back. Close it. Let's curl it one more time. So now we have this. We'll go utilities, monitor controls, set resolution, bam, and damn. Might be overthinking this one. Instead of LLM in it, let's just fix it like we would do it back in the day. Yeah, let's just grep 30 actually. Ah, that's the bug. That's the problem right there. We were grepping an output of 30, or only 10, which would only be the first 10. And if you look over here, like let's come over here. If you look at the first 10, you'll probably notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It chops it right there. These all get left behind. So if we instead grep the first 20 lines or 30 lines, I think is what I put it, it'll actually take that, chop it up, then orientate it and spit out 10. So the array filtering system that we put into place was great. Thanks to LLM magic. You did all the heavy lifting. The problem was the setup to that filtering only grabbed the first 10 results. So we built this really elaborate filter with like the LLM, and then we fed it, instead of feeding it all the results, we just fed it the first bit, which is kind of funny. And looking at that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the grep A30, like if you do like a TLDR grep, you'll notice, oh shit, all right, well, grep help. Grep A. Can you give me, okay, A num. After context, like always, emits an ANSI escape. Oh, wait. Oh, that's, yeah, that's, what was I thinking? So if we look at it, where's our man page on this? Probably should have done it through man page. All right, here you go. Show nums lines after each match. Show number of lines after each match. So we're echoing the full xrandar here. We're grepping monitor connected. We were only grabbing that. the number of lines afterwards. And then we were grepping OP and then sorting -u. I think it'd still be okay, but well, let's see. Grab all the ones and parse the ones you want. Yeah, I think so. So really what it is on this one, I don't want to limit the results before we filter. So a grep-a30 isn't needed. Let's see what it says. This change replaces grep-a30 command with a sed command that extracts all the lines between the line of monitor connected and the next line starting with a non-space character. This approach ensures we capture all the available resolutions. That's much, much better. Perfect. So really what this should do is grab everything in between. We're no longer limiting the results. I was like, I don't like how that's coded. This makes much more sense to me. So then when we are here, let's just go pull this real fast. Let's go over to utils. Really? Oh, I didn't Z over there. Oh, well. Utils. Then we go set resolution. Let's just make sure this works. Monitor, Z monitor control. Okay. So now if we do set resolution 1, yeah, that works good. Then util lazy G, final resolution fix. Okay, next time I'm going to check out a branch. We're going to do it on the branch. So I'm not committing and making a gajillion releases and then sitting here watching the GitHub action go. That's a little crazy. What happened to the right-click tweak for Windows 11? It should be there. Yeah. That's what I thought. Because I use that often. Oh, do I have my Windows machine up? Here, let's yeah, so we do like an IRM. Speaking of which, I still got to fix the release thing. I keep forgetting. A little bit of a brain fart there, but that's okay. Happens from time to time. It is PowerShell. Anything with Windows is kind of an imprecise dark art. So we need to make that release. But anyways, yeah. Under advanced, there should be set classic right-click menu right here. So that'll get you what you need. I could put that in a better spot. I do need to fix this pre-release too. Broke the releases last night. Don't worry, I'll get to it later tonight. I just wanted to fix this. Wanted a little bit of a break. Go over to Linux for a little bit. Okay, so now we have that. We should have the new release going live. And we're going to go ahead and pull it down. Hopefully it auto-pulled it. Set resolution. Booyah. Look at that beautiful display. It grabbed exactly what we wanted. All the standard resolutions are there. Now you might be going, what about my 1600 by 900? It's not here. So let's set this. Make sure it works. Perfect. Oh, God. That is just gorgeous. And you might notice there is no 1600 by 900 resolution, so it was omitted. So now it prefers those resolutions we added to that list. So if there is one, like maybe some 16 by 10s we add in there, but for the most part, it should just grab the 16 by 9s, which is what most people will be using, and display those. And if those aren't available, it won't display them. It'll just default to whatever the top 10 is in Xrandar. And it ordered them. So that is freaking cool, man. I dig it. All right. So we've got that. And I am going to be logging off for a while. It's been a little bit of a rough week. I'm going to end this stream on a little bit of a sad note. My brother-in-law's dog got put down yesterday. My best friend just texted me and said he had to put down his dog, just cancer out of nowhere. And our dog of 16 years, we're actually having to go to put her down tomorrow. So that's going to be rough. So I don't know what's going on with everyone near me that has a dog now is, man, rough though. So poor doggos. So it's going to be a little bit rough the next couple of weeks, but other than that, you guys will see me on Monday. And it's always rough losing a pet. I'd say honestly, it's harder than losing a lot of family members. That sounds terrible to say, a little morbid, but that's me. And yeah, so we're going through that, and that's probably why I've been a little bit off this week. So it's gonna be rough. God, yeah, appreciate the making me laugh a little bit, but this week I know I've kind of coded. I've kind of been all over the place. I think part of it's leading up to this, and then just all the other stuff going on. But you know, shit happens. You get through it, and it's fine. It's just sucks. Doesn't make it suck any less, but here we are. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Hope y'all. I'll see you next Monday. We'll have some stuff. I'm gonna be doing a lot of PRs and stuff over the probably late at night. I haven't been sleeping all that great, and the coding kind of helps keep my mind off things. So I like having these projects. So you'll probably still be seeing me pretty active on GitHub the next couple days. But other than that, I'm gonna just take it easy, and I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, y'all. Peace.